It is a red letter day to cherish the post-Atlantic moments of the 116 years old university, which spearheaded research, enhancing quality education, and catapulting technological reach even to remotest part of Tamil Nadu. It carved an initiative by itself to expand and proliferate its tentacles to the outreach, to bring its inclusivity, equity, equality, and emulating the shades of commonwealth to boost the lifelong learning and open distance learning, fulfilling 21st century expectations. This hybrid celebration witnesses stalwarts, international scientists, doyens, sterling contributors, alumni, social entrepreneurs, academicians, scholars, distant learners, board members, police officials, and the like. Assumed office with utmost virtuosity, audacity, and grandiosity. Her calligraph hovers around climate and weather, inclusivity and humanity's academic fiasco, unraveled several barricades to reach this height, and internationally known climatologists mustered all her academic acumen to pump 50 crore funds, a record achievement in anyone's career for that matter. A staunch global trotter who visited 49 countries with more gorgeous dreams, fierce plans, and more visionary goals, and a transparent organization concrete with all the thoughts and needs, Dr. B. Geeta Lakshmi, the Vice Chancellor of TNAU, to invite to offer the welcome address to proclaim the milestones and the highlights of the ODA program.
The chief guest of this glorious milestone celebration of the prestigious Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Dr. A.S. Rathore, former Director General, India Meteorological Department, Consultant, World Bank and UNDP. My respected predecessors, leaders of yesteryear's TNAU, the former Vice Chancellors, distinguished alumni of this 50-year-old university and 120-year-old institution, Mr. Balakrishnan IPS, Police Commissioner of Coimbatore City. Respected members of Board of Management of TNAU, learned members of Academic Council, respectful retired scientists of TNAU, representatives from various associations, staff members from various categories, award winners, staff members who have rendered more than 25 years of meritorious services in TNAU, graduates who are going to obtain their ODL degree, friends from press and media, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, a warm good morning to every one of you. My sincere and heartiest Government Foundation Day greetings to one and all here. I feel privileged and honored in welcoming you all to this memorable event, that is Golden Jubilee Foundation Day celebration of TNAU. On behalf of everyone in TNAU, first I would like to extend my warm welcome to Dr. L.S. Rathore, an eminent meteorologist in the country. Dr. Rathore played an instrumental role in the growth of meteorological science in the country. He was responsible for the introduction of weather-based agro-advisory in India, occupied several important positions, and Director General, India Meteorological Department, Vice President, World Meteorological Organizations, and many other glorious positions. Chancellor of TNAU, Dr. Khalid is a well-renowned entomologist and rendered his valuable services for the growth of TNAU at various. Dr. C. Ramasamy, who held the office from 2002 to 2008. He gave TNAU a new shape, a new face, and a new appearance. He laid the foundation stone for internationalization of TNAU by introducing dual degree program, first of its kind in India. His motivating words and guidance will take us in the right direction. I welcome you, sir, and thank you for accepting our invitation to grace this occasion. Heartiest welcome to Dr. Murugesa Bhupati, former Vice Chancellor from 2009 to 12. Dr. Murugesa Bhupati is known for his able humanitarian administration. In his initiatives in extension, technology dissemination, and liaison with the line departments, improved the visibility of TNAU and public perception of TNAU. During his tenure as Vice Chancellor, TNAU was ranked first among the Asians and conferred with the prestigious Sardar Patel Award of ICAR. I hope your TNAU. National expert on biotechnology and environmental scientist, he took the university to a different height by holding the Vice Chancellor position in 2 tenures. He has mobilized a large amount of funds for strengthening the infrastructure facilities in TNAU. He is a very active person and many institutions have benefited his leadership. He was the one who was instrumental in getting NABARD funds for many institutional development. He was also helping us in mobilizing the funds from TANI. He was the Planning Commission member, guiding the research activities for all over Tamil Nadu. So So welcome to Dr. K. Ramasamy sir, the former Vice Chancellor. Proud to say that he is also alumni of TNAU and he headed Agro-Climate Research Center. Dr. Jagannathan is one of the well-known, renowned meteorologists in the country and one of the key persons behind the growth of Agro-Climate Research Center. On IPS, Commissioner of Police, Coimbatore City. He is not new to us. He is one of our alumni added colors to TNAU in public administration. Mr. Balakrishnan completed his UG degree at Madurai during 1991 to 95 and PG in plant physiology at IARI during 1995 to 97. It is a very proud moment for every one of us that our own illustrious alumni participating in the foundation day of TNAU. I wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. I would like to invite their busy schedule and occupation, they are wholeheartedly welcome the progressive farmer and agro-industrialist Mr. C.D. Kumar. This is Arivalagan. Yet one more member is to join with us, Dr. Maniye. We are all should get motivated by their presence, by their enthusiasm and commitment to TNAU even at this age. At this junction, I truly remember their services rendered and to be honest, I request all your guidance, support and blessings in taking TNAU to the newer heights. I wholeheartedly congratulate and welcome the award winners, staff members, those who have put more than 25 years of meritorious service and drivers who have put more than 10 years of human service. I am pleased to welcome the graduates of non-formal education program of TNAU, that is open distance learning, who have devoted their valuable time to learn the newer technologies in agriculture. They have set the model for the rest of the society. I wholeheartedly welcome other faculty members, staffs, students and media friends to this August gathering. I also welcome the family members who have joined this colorful function. This university has a glorious history of 116 years. Started as an agricultural school at Saidapet, Madras as early as 1868. Until 1965, Agricultural College and Research Institute, Coimbatore was the only institute for agriculture education in the whole of South India and secured university status during 1971. Our former Chief Minister, one of the architects who shaped the growth of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Kalaignar, inaugurated this monumental university. TNAU's vision is to become the institution of excellence in agricultural education, research and extension. Currently, the university has 18 constituent colleges, 29 affiliated colleges, 14 technical directorates, 40 research stations and 14 KVKs to cater the needs and aspirations of the farmers of Tamil Nadu and beyond. The university offers an array of 12 undergraduate programs, 32 postgraduate programs and 30 doctoral degree programs. TNAU has become one of the preferred destinations for both the rural as well as urban students of Tamil Nadu. The number of applicants opting for undergraduate program in agriculture has increased tremendously. It was in 2016, it was just 10,000. Last year, it was 43,000 for competing for 4,000 seats. In this academic year, Tamil Nadu government has started 3 new agricultural colleges, 1 horticultural college, 2 new programs in Tamil language, that is in agriculture and horticulture, 1 diploma program in agricultural engineering, 2 new research centers. TNAU has established a digital PG student management system. TNAU students outperformed in their academic performance over other SAUs. Despite continuous lockdown, students of TNAU have bagged more than 100 ICAR fellowships. Agricultural University through ICAR examinations. TNAU served as a hub for agricultural education and research and a forerunner in India on internationalization of agricultural education. TNAU chancellors for the great initiative. This initiative has expanded during this year by joining hands with University of Western Sydney, Australia and also German University. During 2021, more than 10 students obtained international fellowship to pursue part of their research program in foreign universities, 8 in Canada and 2 in Australia. TNAU made all the arrangements, they will go within 2 months. Notably, 28 students have secured Inspire Fellowship of DST. TNAU students ranked at the top among other SAUs in clearing NET exam conducted by ASRB ICAR. In 2018-19, 430 people cleared NET in 1 year, and during 2019-20, 189 students cleared NET examination. More than 435 TNAU scholars have joined as Agricultural Research Service ARS scientists in ICR institutions. TNAU remained a forerunner among SAUs in launching online education program during COVID-19 pandemic. TNAU has conducted 2 massive convocations during the pandemic period and more than 5,000 people were awarded with degrees. TNAU provides career guidance to the students by facilitating intensive skill development and entrepreneurship. Digital learning lab has been established to learn Indian as well as foreign languages, and people are getting benefited out of it. It is one of the early bird to harness the advantage of frontier areas like climatology, weather forecasting, remote sensing and geographic information system, nanotechnology, biotechnology, food processing and so on. India's first non-GM herbicide-tolerant rice has been developed here and it is in the process of commercialization. Advanced technologies like genomics, climate crop modeling, they are all on forerunning way. We are creating speed breeding facility through which the breeding program that will take 6 years to develop a variety, within 2 years we will be able to develop it. In vegetable crops, TNAU is exploiting grafting technology to perennialize the annual crops. TNAU established agrometeorological field units in several campuses during early 1990s itself. With the visionary leadership of Dr. Rathod, these units are transformed into independent advisory units. TNAU has developed its own expertise in climate crop modeling, risk assessment using remote sensing and advisory on crop insurance through several collaborations. Now we are developing capacity to provide advisory on weather policy and water use efficiency. And World Bank supported Tamil Nadu Irrigated Agricultural Modernization Program is in operation in 66 sub-basins, through which 12,746 farmers are trained and 12 lakh hectares is under micro-irrigation now. This has taken initiatives to create web portal and soil wealth health of Tamil Nadu, that is Tamil Manvalam, for the training most of the entrepreneurs. And it takes only 20 minutes to cover 1 acre with a cost of something around 150 rupees. He is helping government of Tamil Nadu in assessing the impact of extreme weather events that helps in providing insurance amount to the farmers, compensation amount to the farmers at the earliest possible time. TNAU's crop boosters, coconut tonic, pulse wonder, cotton plus, groundnut rich and maize maxim, it has a path-breaking technology that actually helps in boosting more than 20% of the crop yield. TNAU is pioneered in implementing soil-based crop response-based fertilizer application through soil dock scheme that actually helps in reducing the greenhouse gas into the atmosphere, at the same time saving the cost on fertilizer. And not only that, each and every department is contributing in its own way. Center for Plant Protection Studies for controlling fall armyworm, rufous spotted whitefly, cassava mealbug. They are doing an excellent job and all these diseases are taken care of very well in Tamil Nadu state. TNAU has strategies in capacity in producing the natural enemies and parasitoids. And sweet flag of TNAU has been accepted at national level for for effective control of group hits in pulses. And then TNAU's engineers, actually they are doing a wonderful job in miniaturizing the farm implements suiting to the needs of the Tamil Nadu farmers. So they are also developing many instruments to reduce the drudgery as well as to reduce the problem of manpower, non-availability of manpower. TNAU's Forestry College at Metupalayam, this has established a consortium of natural type. I should congratulate the team Forestry for stellar initiative on restoring forest vegetation in the hills by planting 1 lakh seed balls or seed cubes. TNAU stands tall among the SAUs in creating a dedicated directorate of agri-business development to facilitate commercialization of TNAU technologies. More than 40 technologies have already been commercialized. Atal ranking of institutions of innovation achievement, TNAU is in the band of 6th to 25th ranking. TNAU is the only SAU to secure the place in this ranking framework. With the intensive campaigns and technology transfer network, TNAU offers training to more than 1 lakh farmers annually. It executed more than 10 MOU within 3 months with different foreign universities very purposefully. Around 45% of the cropped area, because of all these things, 45% of the cropped area is under TNAU varieties. TNAU technologies adopted in more than 45 lakh hectares, and nearly 86% of the gross cropped area is with TNAU technologies. These and technologies of TNAU are estimated to contribute over 10,000 crore as an additional revenue in the state of Tamil Nadu. Coming to the ODL program, TNAU ODL Center is one of the oldest centers among the SAUs, which was started during the year 2005 with the vision to empower our farmers with technical skills. This is for the farmers, and it has graduated more than 10,000 farmers. TNAU secured the Green and Clean Campus Award of ICR during 2021. We fondly remember the services of Dr. A. Kumar, just the previous Vice Chancellor, for his great contributions for this particular award. TNAU has been identified and announced as a Biodiversity Heritage State of National Biodiversity Authority during 2021. It took part in all the developmental activities of the district during COVID-19 pandemic. All these initiatives and improvements in agricultural education research have enabled retaining the 8th rank under the ICR system among the SAUs during 2021. We will definitely strive for to move our ranking at least to top 3 in the next year. At this juncture, we cannot forget the initiatives and development efforts taken by other Vice Chancellors, unfortunately, who are not here amongst us. Dr. Rangasamy, Dr. Venkatraman, Dr. Rajagopalan, Dr. Jayaraj, Dr. Shankaran, Dr. Kannayan, all these great people, great visionaries have taken the university up to this level. Now it is our tenure. We have to think differently and we have to take TNAU to a newer heights. It is duty and responsibility of each and every one of us to remember their past services. At the same time, I request all the teaching and non-teaching staff of TNAU to deliver your best for the growth and sustainability of TNAU. We are planning to make several reforms to improve the teaching, learning outcomes and research outcomes, and I request the cooperation from all corners of TNAU family. Once again, I express my foundation day greetings and welcome all of you. Thank you so much.
The two-time Vice Chancellor of TNAU, the Chancellor of Calcutta Academy of Higher Education, the Belgian product non-career, a renowned molecular biologist, a key player for the establishment of biotechnological ventures, the spectacular funds of 430 crores. With these appreciative remarks, we are extremely happy to invite Dr. K. Ramasamy, the former Vice Chancellor, to felicitate.
முதல் பெருமையாக உங்கள் முன் தமிழகத்தினுடைய தமிழ்நாடு வேளாண்மை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தினுடைய பங்களிப்பை பகிர்ந்து இருக்கக்கூடிய துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய முதல் வணக்கத்தை சொல்லி Thank you, sir, for attending this esteemed function as a chief guest. You built the nation for the holistic analysis of Panchangam to forecast of rain and the season. And you also laid the foundation both in Gujarat and Tamil Nadu for establishing the automatic weather stations. Unfortunately, we have to hand it over to the Department of Agriculture. Anyway, whatever it is, the country is getting the positives. அன்புநிலை இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தினுடைய நிர்வாக குழு உறுப்பினர்களே, ஏனென்றால் அவர்கள்தான் இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தினுடைய வழி நடத்தக்கூடியவர்கள். அவர்கள் அத்துணையினருக்கும் என்னுடைய பணிவான வணக்கங்களை செலுத்த கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றேன். இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்தை நிர்வகிக்கக்கூடிய முதன்மையர்கள், ஆராய்ச்சி நெறியாளர்கள், அழைப்பு என்று வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய ஆசிரியர்கள், முன்னாள் ஆசிரியர்கள், இந்நாள் மாணாக்கர்கள், பட்டத்தர வந்திருக்கக்கூடிய உங்கள் அத்தனை பேருக்கும் இந்த காலை பொழுதில் என்னுடைய பணிவான வணக்கங்களை உங்கள் கமலப்பாதங்களில் செலுத்த கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றேன். இந்த நேரத்தில் நாம் எப்படி வந்திருக்கின்றோம், என்ன சாதித்திருக்கிறோம் என்று நம்முடைய துணைவேந்தர் அவர்களுக்கு உங்கள் முன் வைத்தார்கள். ஆனால் வரப்போகின்ற காலம் எப்படி இருக்கும் என்பதை உங்களுக்கு சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கின்றேன். ஏனென்றால் நாங்கள் எல்லாம் 75 தாண்டியவர்கள். எப்படி நீங்கள் சமாளிக்கப் போகிறீர்கள் என்பது மாபெரும் கேள்விக்குறி. முதல் படியாக உலகத்தில் இருக்கக்கூடிய எல்லா கல்வி நிலையங்களும் மிக இளைய வயதிலே பள்ளி படிப்பையும் பல்கலைக்கழக படிப்பையும் முடித்து வேலைக்கு சேர வேண்டும் என்று செயல்படுகின்றன. உதாரணத்திற்கு ஐரோப்பாவை எடுத்துக்கொண்டீர்களே, ஆனால் 22 வயதிலிருந்து 24 வயதில் PhD முடித்துவிட்டு வேலைக்கு தயாராக வெளியே வந்துவிடுகிறார்கள். ஆனால் இந்தியாவை பொறுத்தவரை முன்னால் 24 வயதில் பட்டதாரியாவது வர முடியும். இப்பொழுது 26 வயதில் தான் வருவதற்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது. முதலிலே எத்தனை பேர் படித்தீர்கள் என்பது எனக்கு தெரியாது. இன்றைய கல்வி திட்டத்தின்படி 3 வயது முடிந்ததற்கு பின்னால் தான் ப்ரீகேஜி, எல்கேஜி, எல்கேஜி எல்லா கேஜியும் வரணும். அப்படி பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க இன்றைக்கு 16 வயதில் பள்ளி கல்வியை முடிக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு மாணவன் 17 அல்லது 18 வயதில் தான் முடிக்க முடியும். 16 வயதில் முடிக்க இயலாது. அடுத்து 3 ஆண்டு பட்டப்படிப்புகள் எல்லாம் 3 ஆண்டிலிருந்து 5 ஆண்டுகள் இருந்த பட்டப்படிப்புகள் எல்லாம் 4 ஆண்டு பட்டப்படிப்புகளாக மாற்றியமைக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. இந்த மாற்றத்துக்கு வித்திட்டவர்கள் வேளாண் பட்டதாரிகளும் வேளாண் கல்வியும் தான். ஏனென்றால் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ரெடி, ராவே இதெல்லாம் சேர்த்து 4வது வருஷத்துக்கு கொண்டு போய் தாக்கணும்னா இப்போ என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் அப்படிங்கிற போர்வையில் இப்போ என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா எல்லா டிகிரிக்கும் அதை கொண்டு வந்து சேர்த்தாங்க. இதுக்கு முதல் காரணமாக இருந்தது என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க, ஸ்டேட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் யூனிவர்சிட்டின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அமெரிக்காவுடைய வெற்றியை வித்திட்டு வளர்த்த காரணத்தினால் இன்றைக்கு எல்லா பல்கலைக்கழகங்களும் மருத்துவத்திலிருந்து எல்லா கல்வியையும் துவங்கலாம் என்கின்ற பாடத்திட்டங்களுக்கு அடிவகுத்திருக்கிறார்கள். அப்படி என்றால் ஐஐடி பார்த்துட்டீங்க, இப்போ ஐஐசியில் மருத்துவத்துறை துவங்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. அதே போன்று வேளாண் பல்கலைக்கழகமும் மருத்துவத்துறையை துவங்குவதற்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது. அதே போன்று அரசு கல்லூரிகளிலே இருக்கக்கூடிய கலை மற்றும் அறிவியல் பாடத்திட்டங்களையும் துவங்க வேண்டும் என்று பாடத்திட்டம் கொடுத்திருக்கிறது. அடுத்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க இந்த 4 வருஷத்தை சொல்லிட்டு மூதறிவியலையும் முனைவர் பட்டத்திற்கு முடிய 3, 2, 5 வருஷத்தை குறைக்கவே இல்லை. அதனால பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க 2 வருஷம் வேலை வாய்ப்புக்கு யாருமே இருக்க மாட்டாங்க இந்த கல்வியில். பள்ளி கல்வியில் 1 வருஷம், அறிவியல் நீங்கள் வந்து பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் 1 வருஷம் சேர்த்து 2 வருஷம் கூடுது. இந்த 2 வருஷம் வரக்கூடியவங்களுக்கு வேலை வாய்ப்பு கிடையாது. எல்லாம் கற்றவர்கள் இங்கே மேடையில் அமர்ந்திருக்கிறீர்கள், கற்றுக்கொண்டிருக்கின்றவர்களும் கற்றவர்களும் எங்களுக்கு முன்னாலே இருக்கிறீர்கள். தயவு செய்து நினைத்து பாருங்கள். இன்றைய தினம் எல்லா மாநிலங்களிலும் ஒரு ஐஐடி இருக்கிறது, ஒரு என்ஐடி இருக்கிறது, என்ஐஐடி இருக்கிறது, ஐஐஎம் இருக்கிறது. அது போக நேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டியூட் ஆஃப் பிசிக்ஸ், நேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டியூட் ஆஃப் பயாலஜி, நேஷனல் இன்ஸ்டியூட் ஆஃப் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி என்று ஒவ்வொரு மாநிலத்திலும் 10 நேரடி நடுவண் அரசினுடைய பல்கலைக்கழகங்கள் இயங்கி வருகின்றன. தூக்கி சென்று விட்டது நடுவண் அரசு. 2 பேரும் போட்டி போட்டு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இன்னைக்கு எல்லா பல்கலைக்கழகங்களிலும் 60% வேகன்சி இருக்கு. நடுவணர்ஸ் மட்டும் இல்லை, நம்ம ஸ்டேட் யூனிவர்சிட்டிலையும் சரி சென்ட்ரல் யூனிவர்சிட்டி பார்த்து பிரித்து பாருங்க. முன்னால் டிஎஸ்டி, சிஎஸ்ஐஆர், ஐசிஏஆர், டிபிடி இதில் இருந்தெல்லாம் நமக்கு முதல்ல பண உதவி கிடைச்சிருந்தது. இப்போ என்ன பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னா இவங்க எல்லாருக்கும் ஆசிரியர்களுக்கு சம்பளத்தை கொடுத்துட்டு ஆராய்ச்சிக்கு அங்கேயிருந்து காசு வாங்கிட்டாங்க. பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 120லேருந்து 180 பேர் நம்ம பல்கலைக்கழக ஆசிரியர்கள் தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் ஆராய்ச்சி நிதி உதவி பெற்றிருப்பார்கள். இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 15-20 பேருக்கு மேலே இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. அதில் இப்போ ஆராய்ச்சிக்கு நிதியுதவி என்பது மாறிவிட்டது, கல்வியும் மாறிவிட்டது. இதில் வேளாண் கல்விக்கு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மன்னிக்க வேண்டும், 2 மணித்துறைகள் எடுத்துக்கொள்கிறேன். வேளாண் கல்வியை பொறுத்தவரை கஸ்தூரிரங்கன் முதல்ல கொடுத்த 2019 பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 300லேருந்து 302 வரையும் 3 பக்கம் இருக்கும். 3 பக்கத்தில் என்ன சொல்லியிருப்பாங்கன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வேலைவாய்ப்பு நல்லா இருக்கு, அதனால எல்லா பல்கலைக்கழகங்களும் வேளாண் பட்டத்தை துவக்கிக் கொள்ளலாம் அப்படின்னு. 2020 பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த 318 பக்கத்தை சுருக்கி 62 பக்கம் ஆக்குனதில் 3 வரி தான் இருக்கும். இந்த 3 வரி என்னன்னா வேலைவாய்ப்பு பொறுத்து வேளாண் பட்டத்தை எல்லோரும் துவங்கலாம்ங்கிற 3 வரி தான் இருக்கும். அப்படி இருக்கும்போது நீங்கள் எப்படி உங்களை தயாரித்துக் கொள்ள போகிறீர்கள்? உங்களுடைய தயாரிப்பை பொறுத்து தான் பிற்காலத்தில் வளம் இருக்கும். நாங்கள்லாம் இருந்த பொழுது இந்த டிப்ளமாவிலேருந்து கிராஸ் என்ட்ரியை நிறுத்தி வச்சுருந்தோம். ஆனால் இப்போ அதெல்லாம் செய்ய முடியாது. முதல் வருடம் சர்டிஃபிகேட், 2வது வருஷம் டிப்ளமா, 3வது வருஷம் டிகிரி, 4வது வருஷம் ஆனர்ஸ். இப்படி வரும்போது இதுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் நம்ம பாடத்திட்டம் பகுத்து வச்சுருக்கோமானா கிடையாது. இன்னும் முக்கியமானது என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க நடுவண் அரசே இதுவரையிலையும் கெசட் நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன் NEPக்கு கொடுக்கல. ஆனால் துணைவேந்தர் இருக்காங்க, பதிவாளர் இருக்காங்க. ஒரு வாரத்தில் 3 லெட்டர் வரும். இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் நேஷனல் எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி. அதுலேயும் எங்களை போராட்டம் இந்த நிகர்நிலை பல்கலைக்கழகங்களில் பார்க்கும்போது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா மஞ்சள் கடிதாசு யூஜிசிலேருந்து 3 லெட்டர் வரும். அதுக்கப்புறம் வெள்ளை கடிதாசு 2 வரும். அப்புறம் ஏஐசிடிலேருந்து 2 லெட்டர் வரும். மொத்தம் வாரத்துக்கு வந்து 8 லெட்டர் வரும். இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டியா, நீ வந்து கிரெடிட் பேங்க் ஓப்பன் பண்ணியாச்சா, ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிட்டியா, கிரெடிட் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணிட்டியா, அட்மிஷன் எத்தனை பேர் வந்துருக்கு, அட்ரிஷன் என்ன இருக்குது, இந்த மாதிரி NEPலேருந்து என்னென்ன கோர்ஸ் துவங்கியிருக்கு, நான்காட்டு படிப்புகள் துவங்கியிருக்காயா, இதெல்லாம் வந்துகிட்டே தான் இருக்கு. இதெல்லாம் செயல்படுத்தணுன்னாக்க நாமாக இருக்க வேண்டும். நம்ம தமிழில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க 6 முதுமொழிகளில் 6ல் தமிழ் ஒன்று, அதே மாதிரி செம்மொழிகளில் 8ல் தமிழ் ஒன்று. நம்முடைய மூலத்தை பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க தொல்காப்பியம் 3000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாலே சொல்கிறோம். அதில் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, நிலம் தரு திருவின் பாண்டியன் சொல்லி தான் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. நிலத்திலேருந்து வர செல்வத்தை வச்சு தான் எல்லாமே நடந்திருக்காங்க. அதே தொல்காப்பியத்தில் 68வது பக்கத்தில் என்ன சொல்கிறாங்க, முதல் எனப்படுவது நிலமும் காலமும். காலத்தை நிர்ணயிக்கின்ற துணைவேந்தர் வந்திருக்காங்க, நிலத்தை நிர்ணயிக்கின்ற வேளாண் பட்டதாரிகள் இருக்கிறீர்கள். நீங்கள் இருவருமாக சேர்ந்து வருகாலத்தை நிர்ணயிக்க வேண்டிய நிலையில் இருக்கிறீர்கள். அதற்கு இந்த பல்கலைக்கழகம் உன்னையே நீ அறிவாய் என்று சொல்லியிருப்பதை நினைவு நிறுத்தி உங்களை நீங்கள் நினைத்து பார்த்து நீங்களாக உங்களை வளர்த்துக் கொடுங்கள் என்று சொல்லி வாய்ப்புக்கு நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன்.
Dr. P. Murugesh Bhupati, the former Vice Chancellor, the felicitate.
Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agricultural University and the first Vice Chancellor, the lady of this university, the officers and Board of Management, Academic Council members, award winners and the participants, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to participate in this Foundation Day, Golden Jubilee Foundation Day. I think I am participating in this event almost nearly more than 10 years. I retired from this university in 2012 and after 10 years I am participating in this program. But I thank the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pita Lakshmi. She has invited me and participated in this function. So I remember the Foundation Day. Actually, when I was the Vice Chancellor, I was invited by the ASRB Chairman, Dr. Mai, as a chief guest for the Foundation Day, New Delhi. Then I asked her, what is the Foundation Day? It's initiated that day they are celebrating. But I was astonished. So far, the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University has not celebrated the Foundation Day. So, during my tenure, only I have 40th Foundation Day was celebrated, and I invited all the former Vice Chancellors and we celebrated the Foundation Day, and it is continuously formated. So, the university should remain forever. So, our people, our teachers, our learned people will come and go. But the staff and the students, you must have built up this university forever. And also regarding that, yesterday that our Vice Chancellor had a brainstorming session with the former Vice Chancellor. It's a unique program. See, even when I was a Vice Chancellor, I don't think that I have to invite all the Vice Chancellors and learned people to get the ideas. But she is getting all the ideas and doing it. So, I think during her term, I think the university is going to flourish very well. And also I requested during 1998 when Abdul Karim was the Vice Chancellor, the university got the Best State Agriculture University. During my tenure 2010, we got the Best State Agriculture University Award. And I requested Dr. Gita Lakshmi, you must get it in 2024 as Best State Agriculture University in the country. So with this, actually, because a lot of more than 300 people awardees are there, so I don't want to get. I congratulate all of you, the awardees and also the people. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
A new lease of life for pensioners in particular. With his laudatory remarks, we are delighted to invite Dr. C. Ramasamy, the former Vice Chancellor, TNAU, to offer the felicitations.
The chief guest of this great day. I think the batch of 1970-72 MSc, in which I was a student, had the honor of first year studying under the University of Madras and second year at Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, as it was started in 1971. So that way, it is a great feeling. I have grown up with this institution for the past 50 years as a student, as a faculty, as an administrator. So I am always emotional about this. If you want to build a nation, build its institutions. This is a historical fact you can see throughout the world, even going back over 7,000 years. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of this country, built not only dams across the country, but built institutions. IITs, IIM, Central Universities, CSIR, ICAR, ICSSR. So those innovative vision and action has laid a strong foundation for not only general education but also technical education in this country. At this point in time, we must be all grateful to the great mind Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru for laying such a foundation. So TNAU is definitely one of the beneficiaries of those great thought. Coming particularly to agriculture, the ICR SEO system was started, as we all know. But 1960 was the WhatsApp movement. Great minds like C. Subramaniam, M.S. Swaminathan shaped, forming this ICR SEO system, even though it was there already as imperial system. So that really helped to develop agricultural education in this country. As we remember, with support from Ford Foundation and Rockefeller Foundation, this stone was laid for starting state agricultural universities, and the G.P. Pant Agricultural University was started in 17 November 1960 by great Jawaharlal Nehru, and TNAU has to be launched or started a decade later. As we all know that because Agricultural College and Research Institute Coimbatore was under the grip of University of Madras, and they were not yielding to start that, as pointed out by the present Vice Chancellor I think Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi in 1971, who inaugurated this university, sowed the seeds for further growth. Basically, very limited scope into such university, great big university, because with advent of SAUs, we have to change this into a 7-faculty model. And earlier the research was even done by BSc Agricultural Qualification. So a lot of administrative and technical transformation has to undergo to what we are today. The appreciated Rutgers University and a Nobel laureate, he brought many changes, very dramatic changes. But for this very aggressive action, we would not be seeing this university today what we are. I think this Visar and GL brought a total change in the teaching and research program. Huge, because as a student, as a teacher, I could see that. So then we had the annual evaluation, totally external evaluation system. When we started trimester, it was totally internal evaluation system. This almost could see in this process how much of difficulties in those days we undergone. Many of our teachers are here, they know very well. And at the time only 10% of the teachers were PhDs. So there was a massive part-time program introduced by Dr. G. Rangaswamy as early as in 1972 and sweeping across the country by importing 18,000 tons of. We could see that time total shift from ship to ADT and IR varieties were ringing in the ears of the people and biotic stresses. So it is where TNAU from then on during late 70s, 80s until early 90s resorted to resistance breeding and brought varieties, IR varieties, then subsequently ADT varieties were in rise. And then subsequently as the university developed, nearly we have to really during the first decade starting 2001, several TNAU pioneered in introducing e-learning, 100% digital learning, open distance learning, introducing first nano science in this university, dual degree program with the Cornell University and Nova Scotia Agricultural College on landscaping, and then University of Gulf helped in ODL and also the universities in Maharashtra. So these are all great transformation that has taken place. And then we also worked in this period ILO project, under which we had linkage with 3 major universities: Michigan State University on farmer organizations, Cornell University on specific course on rural development, and then with another University of California, Davis, we have food safety standards training. In this also we have trained several scientists. These are all just I want to get some samples of what we have undergone. That is more. Then on the extension front, we are having only 3 KVK supported by ICER. Then that period during the first decade, we got 11 more KVKs. We must be thankful to them, agriculture ministries Jivanandam, who really helped handing over several of the unutilized or underutilized seed farms to have new KVKs totaling number 4. So that way then of course there was also a revolution of self-supporting colleges, because even now it is 1:10 ratio the demand for agricultural graduates. I think it will be a great opportunity for TNAU to churn out graduates of higher quality. Okay, finally I have few words on challenges. What are the challenges for Tamil Nadu Agricultural University in the area of agriculture, particularly agricultural research? I think we all undergone green revolution to gene revolution. Now we have gene editing and so on. No more gene transfer, and then now it is going to the ground revolution. Other words, it is also called the data-driven science, agricultural science, and then we are going to have to use satellite information, precision farming, and how we are going to develop this technology further. we already have a great experience of prison farming in Dharmaburi Krishnagiri district. Now we have to think in other areas also. So now people are aiming in the Western countries to save 90% of the water they are using for agriculture in the future. So how we have to really prepare TNAU. Similarly, since internet cannot go to the fields, now this PV OIS cases to connect the farm, real-time information and exchange. These are all the emerging technologies. So really we have to look into these issues very deeply and prepare our scientists to meet this. So what are the ways to prepare our scientists for these new emerging areas? See, one is, my suggestion would be strongly go for encouraging young scientists for postdoctorate. So if we initiate, you give small incentives like leave, service, protection, everything, considering service, all these things definitely, but because we need not reinvent the wheel except in few cases. We send as many people as possible for different period of time and train them. Then number 2 is already the present Vice Chancellor was indicating developing new linkages with the external universities like Australia and so on. We had a very good experience in the past and using that for the talk. And that time we had the Tata funding. I think we can re-approach also. So that way we have to develop linkages with the new advanced universities and use that for our purposes. So this is another area we have to concentrate. Our Vice Chancellor and his team little work on this, how you regulate and encourage scientists so that they will fit into their focus must be on science, technology, commercialized technology. So unless you commercialize technology, any use of publishing alone does not serve the society. Publishing serves the interest of overall science, but how you commercialize each one of what you get out of lab, university research stations and so on, this is very important. So with these few words, I congratulate the present Vice Chancellor and this young team of university officers. They are very enthusiastic as told by Professor Murugas Gowri. So you think and plan, develop plan of action and achieve. So I congratulate again for organizing this function, again inviting the world people and making them possible. Thank you.
Composure with emotional intelligence to the core. Yet put forth a lot of upward tasks and window of opportunities for students' empowerment and pragmatic transformation in research and extension. Scaled a plethora of reforms in students' welfare too. With these kudos, we are extremely happy to invite Dr. A. Abdul Karim, the former Vice Chancellor, to offer the felicitations.
I will have about 8 minutes maximum. Anyway, all the dignitaries on the dais as well to address you on this occasion in this famous hall, which was constructed in 1999 and inaugurated subsequently. But still, I had occasions to come here, and this is the first occasion I am narrating certain events which will be very memorable. I had a very great faith with the first Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rangasamy, followed by Dr. Venkatram, our own professor in economics, Dr. Rajagopal, then Dr. Jayaraj, my colleague at Ardare, Dr. Sankaran, and then followed by me. And after me, my students have become Vice Chancellors. I was the 6th Vice Chancellor and the first lady Vice Chancellor for this very renowned university is the 12th Vice Chancellor for her all the felicitations go. I had occasion to this time competitors when it is swelling for entering into this university. Competitors were very much less to compete for the post of Vice Chancellor because of calibrated high level of eligibility. And that became very easy. Still, it took 3 months to evaluate and finalize it. And for the best cooperation I had is with Dr. Lakshman Singh Rathod, with whom I had close association for 3 months. And now my colleagues and others. I recall I was the first visiting scientist at UAE from the university. This campus is not a new one. It is the same one which was there 116 years back. It has grown with the years, with the numbers and various categories. So the university is aged as we have also become aged. So I handled the university from the beginning. The starting of this university, we are proud to say that this was discussed in the House of Lords in England, considered for the media. And they all said, we have been ruling and therefore we give this as the first instance for the teachers with whom we were associated for 3 to 4 years. We studied 3 years here because we joined here after the last batch of intermediate. Coimbatore, many other places have taken the place of the university. Now that one point which has come out of yesterday's long discussion, started by 7 and extended up to 9:30. So, and everything was shortlisted, and the Vice Chancellor also intercepted with her own remarks where we are. And it is not that we are not been developing technologies. Whenever there is deficiency in agriculture in other parts of our country, they are the financing for the states also for education as well as our own states. So many projects they sponsor, and in that they are all coordinated projects. And that helped us more to build up our capability for each and every research project. Now that any individual is more capable to bring money, the stage will come, the government will say that you manage your university yourself. Now that we say state-sponsored agricultural university, but hereafter maybe it may be sponsored by self-financing. There cannot be any difference between a college which is sponsored by private agency and sponsored by our own income, for which a lot of technologies have been disseminated and they have been adopted. Every year when the scientific workers conference comes, I have attended almost from my student age all scientific workers conference, stealing time by absenting at least 1 or 2 classes in the RA main building upstairs. There, what is going on, and that helped us to develop an affection to this institution. Each and every corner we have gone. As a student, I request our students to have the same type of association. And with all that, one of the alumni, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, who was the Director General there, I lived with him for 1.5 years. I gave the sojourn when he retired. At that time, I made a remark and also put it in the journal that 40 universities have given honoris causa, and our university has not given that. So there should not, thereafter he was honored. There should not be any negligence from anybody's side. Whatever suggestion comes, it can be examined and then given weight for. Because we do like that, without any hesitation, we have come up. In 1998, when people said that university became the first, it should have come 1 year before. Baroda, the their secretary, called me. Did you go through the report you have sent during this month for the award? At that time, I was 1 month to make a reference, a review for our HRD deputed students all over other countries. It took 30 days. And he said, this year you will not get. Next year you prepare and send it with all attention to the team. It happened and we had the award. Then only I came to know, every 5 years, whether you get it or not, you can compete. So that is all there. I wish more and more success for this university, so that as we talk here, again another point, I have not heard from any vice chancellor, from the number 1 to the number 11, 12th vice chancellor is the lady vice chancellor. She was mentioning every now and then, starting with TNAU. I was counting, it exceeded 50 times. So I stopped my counting. I said, she remembers, she is putting it constantly in her heart, and it is the reserve bank. And she has to take it out at a time when it is required and release it for the benefit of the farmers. And I wish success in her efforts. Thank you very much.
Country, he burned the midnight oil for the establishment of automatic weather station, hands in glove with our present Vice Chancellor. His firefighting plans are quite commendable, elevating A++ rank in Media University. With these appreciative remarks, we are deliciously happy to invite Dr. R. Jagannathan, the Vice Chancellor of Media University, to offer the felicitations.
On the dais and after dais. I am very happy to be here on the Foundation Day, invited by the first lady, Vice Chancellor, as everyone said. So we were being closely working together for the betterment of the agricultural meteorology. And now our mentor, Dr. L.S. Ratto, here has helped us many times in developing our career as well as developing the university resources on the agricultural meteorology side. On this Foundation Day, I congratulate everyone who is going to receive the awards, as well as I thank all my Vice Chancellors, former Vice Chancellors, and my former teachers to make this university to the status what it is now. So as pointed out by our Vice Chancellor Dr. K. Ramasamy, because I am also in state and universities, we received so many letters on national education policy. There are few and try either side, but still the policy on national education is one we need to follow either for the betterment of the university or for the betterment of the state. So we have our own state education policy also. Combined together, we need to go with that. I hope our Vice Chancellor was also be involved in that national education policy, combining the state education requirement for agriculture. She will take the Tamil Nadu state in forefront in agriculture, and everyone wish that the university will get the best rank award. And I also request the Vice Chancellor for giving more attention to get ranks. So with 25 years of existence, I gratefully acknowledge our researchers what that area rank. She was pointing that we are first time we got 4th rank, this time we are 10th rank, and only the state then university which got it in area. So like that we are also having an area of rank. So that attention should be given. Not only that, we have so many records with us, but we have inventions with us. that has not been properly documented and presented to the ranking framework. That's why we are losing. I think, I hope she will work towards that and keep the ranking in the forefront. If not, they will in the 3 rank, it will be the first rank. I want to suggest the Vice Chancellor to have the first rank the next year. Thank you.
Various portfolios of Joint Commissioner, Deputy Inspector General and Superintendent of Police in various districts of Tamil Nadu. Little stint he made in Canara Bank as Agriculture Extension Officer. In his kitty, innumerable awards received by President's Police Medal for meritorious service, Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister's Medal, Chevening Scholarship Commonwealth. His organization skills and initiatives are e-beat, reforms in repeat offenders, phone programs, sense of security for women, counseling for teachers, rescue operations in cyclone, rehabilitation of vagabonds, spoken English for police, zero child marriage campaign, legal and clinic, expertise in mega event management, counseling for slum dwellers. Commentators also include Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's medal carried, crowd control, elections, efficient security, and bandages and social activists. With a sense of accolades, we are delighted to invite Thiru B. Balakrishnan, Indian Police Service, Commissioner of Police, Coimbatore City, to felicitate the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Most respected, the first Women Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, all the former Vice Chancellors, former Director of IMD, Dr. Rathore, and all the dignitaries sitting on the dais and off the dais, parents, students, media people. Good morning, everyone. I consider this is a great honor as well as privilege to be amongst all of you on this wonderful occasion. First of all, it's a Founders Day, and to add color to that, it is a Golden Jubilee Founders Day. And I cannot ask for a more better occasion to talk to you all than this. So I thank the Vice Chancellor and Madam's team for inviting me to this wonderful function. And Dr. Murugeshwar Bhubudi, former Vice Chancellor, who in fact taught us in Asian College Bombay, when he spoke about his students, that is me, and his teacher, I could understand that there is a 4th generation of agriculture scholars are sitting over here. The students are sitting, teachers are sitting, then Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellors. We can't ask for a more enlightened crowd than this to decide on the future of agriculture education in India. And I was amazed, in fact it was mind-blowing to see so many achievements the Tamil Nadu Agriculture University has attained under the able leadership of various former Vice Chancellors of this wonderful university. So many achievements. In fact, when I was preparing to talk, I wanted to point out a few things, but then I realized that so many those things have also been done in this university. So that is definitely because of the hard work and the scholarship of the students and the faculty members, which single-mindedly contribute to the development of agriculture education and for the greater welfare of the farmers in this country. If you look at the history of agriculture education and agriculture in India, we definitely see, at least I see, 2 important landmarks. One was the Green Revolution, the other is the pandemic. The pandemic is very important, considering the agriculture education, how the future is so uncertain, and we should be prepared and we should have a contingent plan to face similar challenges in future. As far as the achievements of this university and the agriculture universities across the country, there are 3 touchstones we refer to. One is the food security, the other is employment generation, the third one is the economic growth. Whether the agriculture has ensured all these 3 parameters to be called as a successful venture in this newly independent country. As far as the food security is concerned, whether you take it in quantitative terms or qualitative terms, these agricultural universities have ensured that proper research is done and the technologies are transferred to the farmers, and the farmers in fact responded with the education they have received from agricultural universities and produced a lot of results on the field. In terms of qualitative aspect of food security, probably we have to achieve little more considering the specific segments of the society which is still malnutrition and need a lot of support from the administration. The second is the employment opportunities. It's a very complex subject to talk about. Employment opportunities, whether agriculture continues to give greater employment opportunity, is definitely when we talk about the economic growth of a country or economic growth, phases of economic growth, we refer to the fact that the labor force from agriculture should be shifted to the other sectors, so industrial and service sector. So whether the employment rate in agriculture, growth rate in agriculture is an indicator of economic growth or not, is again a complex topic to talk about. Economic growth, definitely India has achieved consistently high level of GDP growth only because of consistent contribution from the field of agriculture. So that way, agriculture has definitely contributed to the greater level of economic growth in our country. So when agriculture has fulfilled the major requirements of a newly independent country like India, where most of the population live in the rural areas depending on the agriculture and depending on the vagaries of monsoon, this is definitely an outstanding contribution. At least all of us are sure that not even a single person goes without food in our country now. That is the greatest achievement, I would say, the universities have achieved in this country. When we talk about the challenges, of course, the pandemic has introduced us to newer areas of education, and in fact in the recent times, in fact it is an ongoing debate regarding the model of specialized universities like agriculture university and veterinary university, all that. It is a continuing debate. Like if you look at the foreign countries, the universities are it is not for a particular subject. It is for all the subjects together. There is more chance of interdisciplinary cooperation in such universities, and having experimented with these specialized universities, I think we should look at addressing the issues like interdisciplinary coordination and cross-breeding of ideas from the developments in the other fields of science. That is one aspect we should look at. The second thing is the pandemic, of course, has introduced a lot of new things, and of course, teaching faculty to go online, and in fact, it has among all though there are various advantages, I look at two aspects of this online learning, which needs some more concentration. Number one is the social learning. When you sit in the classroom atmosphere, the interaction, interpersonal relationship among the students, all that will be missed in the online ambience. Similarly, the experimental learning, the opportunity for experimental learning, which is the bedrock of any research, is casualty during the pandemic time. So, but definitely it has taught us to be more prepared on those areas. So that so we should look at the problems associated with online learning during the pandemic time, and we should do more research on that, so that in the future, if any such a situation arises, we will be better prepared to face similar situations. Like I understand that there are a lot of endowment lectures happening in various departments in the university, but one thing I would like to suggest, if it is already not in the plan, that in foreign universities, if you look at the foreign, vice chancellors and so many scientists who have contributed to the research, education and extension of the university, and many of their descendants, legal care should be interested in setting up probably the research chair in the universities. I think the university can list out those great scientists and their family. The university can approach them and find out whether they are ready to come forward with such idea. Because a couple of vice chancellors pointed out an important future problem, that is the financial aspects of research. Of course, most of the foreign universities are now self-funded. Only in India we are getting continuous grants from the government. Of course, the grant will continue to come, but it will be decreasing year after year. So we should be prepared to face such a situation where the government-sponsored research will be scanty. So to face such a situation, things like establishment of research chairs through private participation or distinguished scholars of the families of distinguished scholars of this wonderful institution, that may in a way address those issues. Entrepreneurship, already the university has been full-time into it. Commercialization of research findings, everything is already being done. But I don't know how much importance is given to patents. Like, of course, I know there are so many patents attributed to the university, but probably it is the right time to introduce, when the students introduced to patent process, because innovation is the currency of research. Without innovation, nothing is around. How are we institutionalizing the innovations? That is very important. So students, young scientists, they should all be encouraged to come out with a lot of innovations, and then the innovation should be patented so that it goes on record. And last but not the least, value system. The university has been inheriting a great value system, whether in the field of research or education or extension. But one thing I have observed, I was in University College of London for my post-graduation in human rights in 2017 with the Chinese scholarship. So many illustrious scientists, India would not have grown so much, but still an amount of lethargy or casualness lies in the field of research. When we are doing some research, sometimes we are satisfied with the research, and maybe for time constraints or resource constraints, we
bestow a memento as a token of affiliation to our Commissioner of Police. Want to better and models played a critical and crucial role in the development of agro-meteorological advisory service in India. In his city, tens of hundreds of publications were standard-fied. Guided scholars of IIT Delhi, Guru Jamleshwar Varsity Isa, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and Banaras Hindu University. Honorary Fellow of Association of Agro-Meteorologists, recipient of dozens of national awards and international awards. Conferred with honorary degree of Doctor of Science by Ram Manohar Lokia Award University, conferred with honorary professor by Hamilton University, holding members at the higher academics and various top capacities in Rajasthan, serving as a chairperson for multiple portfolios. He is the selection committee chairman and member as well as vice chancellor of several universities. With his stupendous appreciation and accolades and colossal contributions, we are honored to invite Dr. Lakshman Singh Rato, the former Director General, IMD New Delhi, Consultant World Bank, and the UNDP distribute awards, distribute the graduate certificates, and to deliver the foundation address. Give the awards for the TNAU winners, TNAU Award 2019.
Professor Dr. Deepa Chu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellors, President of the Dias, Professor K. Ramasamy, C. Ramasamy, my friend, Professor Dr. then IPS. Member Board of Studies, some of whom Kubar had good students, parents, media persons, some of my thoughts on the occasion of 50th Foundation Day and the glorious journey. I think I have reason to congratulate the entire TNAU team for the glorious 50 years as we have seen the scorecard of the university in the journey, which is really, I have been visiting to various universities, including most of the agricultural universities, and I have no hesitation to mention that this is among the top agricultural universities in the country, and also in the entire South Asian region. The agricultural education system basically was founded in earlier 20th century, as was mentioned by Professor Rameswaran. And the first 6 colleges which were established in the period between 1904 and 1906. And they were Patthar College, Kanpur, College at Nagpur, College at Lyallpur in Pakistan, College at Sabor in Bihar, and Pune College, and the Agriculture College, Coimbatore. These were 6 previous colleges which were established in the beginning of 20th century. The second phase came where these colleges and other colleges were transformed into agricultural universities, and that happened when we were studying, and I was studying for my Rajasthan College of Agriculture. Of course, as you mentioned, Professor Rameswaran in 1960, the university was established. In the 70s, it was associated almost with the Green Revolution. The prime mandate for establishment of agriculture colleges in early 20th century was basically to help the British Empire to generate basic material for processing, agricultural production for processing, and therefore focus was on cotton, sugarcane, and those kind of crops needed. And the raw material was processed into industry, and that has less of no, it definitely has a societal relevance and societal value, but more focus oriented towards the business development for Britishers. Post-independence, we translated or transformed Imperial Council for Agricultural Research into Indian Council of Agricultural Research, and that paved the way for Green Revolution and the setting up of new agricultural universities, state agricultural universities on land grant matter. And their mandate was very specific. And here we really focused on meeting the societal requirement for agricultural education. Now, when we are celebrating the 50th foundation year of TNAU, we have entered into a new era in the context of agricultural education and training. And society has undergone a radical change through the radical developments in agricultural education, research, development, and extension services. Of course, it has helped to reduce the food security, as was mentioned by Balakrishnan. And the services rendered by all the state agricultural universities, including Tamil Nadu agricultural universities, have made immense contribution in securing our food needs. but the sustainable food production is still the primary pursuit. We have not been able to secure ourselves in many ways. So even after establishment of TNAU and completion of 50 years, when we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee Foundation, we need to take stock of our agricultural education and training needs. And these training needs, as I mentioned, are dynamically changing and responsive to the societal needs. And when we need to respond to the changing socio-economic and political environment needs, we are to adjust on the market change in the concept of agriculture itself. The manner in which we used to carry out agricultural practices few decades ago are no more prevailing. Everything has changed. Our seeds have changed, our crops have changed, our practices have changed, agricultural operations have changed, our input have changed, our energy requirement have changed, so on and so forth. So we need to have an increased emphasis on integrated system and sustainable production of farms, and that onus lies on agricultural education and training systems to respond to these changing needs. The traditional forms of agricultural education and training are also challenged by new ideas about the process of teaching and learning, including soft system thinking, as was mentioned by previous speakers. Also, the participatory rural appraisal and farmer-to-farmer extension, as well as emergence of new modes of learning, including the distant learning, has also underlined the changing training needs. The current move towards the privatization of agricultural education, not only in Tamil Nadu but the entire country, has opened new vistas and new thinking have been generated to augment the government's effort in empowering our students as well as farmers in the arena of agricultural production systems. And there is an increasing prominence given to new and flexible education providers by these private institutions, including some of non-governmental organizations and parastatal bodies and agribusiness institutions. So not only university or government-run university or state-run university, but private colleges, and all these factors are leading to calls for adaptation, lack of responsiveness in the past. I don't say they were not responsive, but the responsiveness needs are emerging. Those do not die, but they need to be transformed, and a rebirth has to take place, and that is the effort the current TNAU seems to be doing, and I really compliment the leadership for that. The range of issues, you mentioned the labor. That is again a big issue. Today, if you go to rural areas, you don't get the labor in agriculture. Agricultural labor, they are going for urban work, and nobody wants to do the tilling in the farms. And that calls for use of new techniques, instruments, and again the training needs in carrying out agricultural operations, because of the paucity of labor is also the requirement which have to be met by the agricultural universities. Another aspect is the need for agricultural education related to non-vocational agriculture for farming and non-farm occupations, including the post-processing of the farm produce, which require knowledge and skills in different spheres, not only in the cultivation mentioned, but the post-harvesting operations are becoming more and more apparent. And I'm glad to note that TNAU is responsive to those kind of changing agribusiness needs through their various curricula. When farming was occupation for majority population, now the number of farmers, though are not declining, but our contribution to GDP has definitely come down. Good side, people say, I don't know. Much basic knowledge of, or common knowledge of agriculture, which was traditionally flowing in the farmer's family, is vanishing. Because today the farmers' sons or daughters, they are no more willing to carry on the farm operations, and therefore the agricultural knowledge and abilities which were inbuilt or imbibed into our traditional system are dying. And we also need to look at those aspects and create a kind of effective farmer citizenship knowledge through the vocational interest, which is diminishing and not easily available. And this also calls for that in our agriculture education system of schooling. I don't know in Tamil Nadu whether there is any chapter in middle school or primary school or high school, except that those who take agriculture as a subject course after 10th grade, agriculture is not yet taught. I think there must be some inclusion of agriculture in the syllabus of primary, middle and secondary education systems. That is very much needed. Particularly when today is a global village where a lot of foreign direct investment in agriculture sector is happening, and many multinational companies have forayed into segments with dozens of agro products. This has resulted as a threat to Indian farmers who lack professional expertise to better deal with these kind of issues, and therefore it is very much essential that agriculture education systems do hand-holding of the farmer to meet these kind of newly emerging challenges by previous speakers. But I would like to underline some of them, though at the cost of repetition. And first and foremost of that we are, as a higher education providing institutions, our relationship with the local, national and global technology developmental needs and capacitating farmers on using those technology has been changing rapidly, particularly last 10 years. So besides the farmers to farmer extension, as we have been focusing, we also need to enhance our existing extension systems for the consumption of the new technology in the most rapid, I think, without losing time between the technology development and the technology consumption. The education on strong marketing infrastructure and effective agro-processing technique is another area where education has been now strengthening, but yet to emerge as a significant player, particularly in the context of India's contribution to the world trade in agriculture commodity markets. Farming is also a threat to the natural environment, and as was mentioned by our previous speaker about the climate change and its impact, and agriculture is a contributor, a significant contributor to polluting our soils, water and atmosphere, and also the kind of our contribution to greenhouse gas. And therefore, our important challenge is to minimize the threat to the environment and also the input resources, particularly water and soil conservation. Because the soil across the country are almost dead, and Sadhguru has really taken a lead in educating the masses on rejuvenating the soils, and we need to respond to the changing needs of soil rejuvenation. The centralized planning of agriculture education system and curriculum synthesis is, to my opinion, need to be relooked, and more scope has to be given for the inclusion of local issues into our curriculum, both at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And the rural students, I don't know whether there is any reservation for farmers' sons and daughters in agricultural admissions, but I think that needs to be encouraged by all agricultural universities, because the traditional knowledge of farm practices with the practical hands-on which is available to the farmers' sons and daughters is really very difficult for an urban student. So therefore there have to be a balance, and I think the updation of the curriculum should also be done accordingly. The education on the private investment, as we discussed yesterday, and awareness on credit facilities to the farmers is also the need of the hour. I'm sure and congratulate the administration, faculty, staff, students, awardees, and the degree recipients for their salient achievements at different time scales. And thank you for inviting me to talk to you. Thank you.
Ready in the front, sir.
Best award goes to Dr. A. Anand and Dr. A. Ushanand, Assistant Professor of Strategy.
Ready to come, sir.
Soil system industry, Department of Soil and Environmental Development.
Sir, ready in the front, sir. Sir, ready.
The Nishi Awards stand by Dr. Amit Kumar, Amit from the Department of Management,
Sir, ready in the front, sir. Ready in the front,
TNAU Foundation.
மேடம் மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்
மேடம் வந்து பாருங்க.
மேடம் மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் மேடம் இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார் சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் ரெடி மேடம் ஓகே
TNAU Best in Production Science Award is backed by Dr. A. Tabakrana, Associate Professor, Agronomy, Center for Students at TNAU.
ஓகே ஓகே
TNAU Best Chemistry Program, Associate Professor, Horticulture,
சார் ரெடி
AC Tabakrana. Juno AM is back in the TNAU Best Chemistry Scholarship Award for Girls. Next year at Curriculum. Best College Award for 2020. Tamil Nadu Rice.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம் சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார்
And TNAU Best Seed Production Center award goes to Department of Vegetable Sciences, Exeter Refinery. Now the awards for TNAU 2021. TNAU Best Research Award goes to Dr. A. Venkateshan, Professor Head Department of Spice and Flagship Crop, Exeter Refinery, and Dr. G. Kumar, Professor Agronomy, RRS Bio. Now for organic farm research center TNAU.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார் சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க
TNAU Best Defense Scientist Research in Associate Professor for Alcohol and Chemical Mothering, and Dr. N.A. Merila, Assistant Professor Agriculture Extension, KVK, Papara. Dr. D. Amadram, Assistant Professor. The TNAU Science Award for the year 2021. Professor in the Department of Agriculture Extension Sociology, TNAU Bank gets a TNAU Issue Officer, C-Sense Technology gets a TNAU Best Reproduction Science Award for the year 2021. Dr. T. Radhachandran, Farmer Institute Consultant, Professor Plant Technology, along with his team of scientists to get the TNAU Best Team Result Award. Next, on the team list to get the TNAU Best College Award is the Agriculture College and Research Institute Madurai for the year 2021.
Okay.
Best Research Award for the year 2021. Krishna Gyan Kendra, Saram, gets the TNAU Best.
Just one minute.
The Krishna Gyan Kendra of Sakyo gets the TNAU Best.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்
இல்ல சரி யூ டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ண கூடாது.
இல்லை அது
தப்பி கொடுக்குறாரு.
நீங்கள் அப்படியே வாங்கி கொடுத்துங்க எல்லா ஃபைலும் அவார்டு கொடுக்குறது எல்லாம் வாங்கி சார் ரெடி மேடம் இங்கே பாருங்க
25 years unblemished award list, and who has put a lot of services, relentless services, flawless services. Dr. Nationality, Community Science College.
Sir, ready to pass, sir.
Dr. A.
Sir, ready to pass.
The School of Postgraduate Studies, TNAU Foundation.
Sir.
Dr. K. T. Parthiban, Dean, External Aging College.
Okay.
Dr. K. Rajan, Dean, on Award. Dr. A. Raviraj, Dean,
Okay, sir.
AEC in Orange TNAU Foundation, now located at Chief.
Sir, ready to pass, sir. Okay. Ready to pass,
The
sir.
Dean, Agriculture College and Research Institute TNAU Foundation.
Okay, sir. Sir, ready to pass, sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. T. Balasubramaniam, Director, Home
Madam, ready to pass, madam?
TNAU College Award. Dr. B.
Okay,
Jaykumar,
sir.
Director, Planning and Monitoring, TNAU Foundation.
Sir, ready to pass, sir.
Dr. Intelligence, TNAU Foundation.
Sir, ready to pass, sir. Sir, ready to pass. Madam, inga pass, madam. Madam, inga pass. Okay. Sir, ready to pass, sir. Okay, ready to pass, madam. Okay. Inga pass, sir.
Dr. M. Sendhu, Director, Center for Plant Molecular Biological Studies
Okay.
and Biotechnology in Foundation.
Okay, sir.
Dr. E. Somasundram, Director, Agribusiness Development, TNAU.
Madam, ready to pass, madam. Okay. Okay, sir.
Dr. E. Suresh
Sir, ready
Kumar,
to pass, sir.
Director, Center for Agricultural and Rural
Okay, sir.
Studies, TNAU.
Sir,
Dr.
Okay.
R. Kumarani, Director, Seed Center, TNAU.
madam, ready to pass, madam. Okay, madam.
Dr. S. Nathaniel, the Dean.
Sir, ready to pass, sir.
Engineer S. Srinivasan,
Okay.
Executive Officer, gets the award.
Pass, sir.
Madam, reading for me. Sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. C.R. Chinamuthu, Dr. K. Anand,
Okay.
Principal, Mr. Latika Chituru,
Okay. Sir, reading for me, sir.
Dr. A. Muttasamy, Deputy Minister of Affiliation, Office of the Registrar, TNAU
Okay, sir.
Foundation.
Reading for me, sir.
Dr. S. Shivakumar,
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Deputy Registrar, Administration, Office of the Registrar.
Okay. Sir, sir, reading for me, sir.
Office of the COE, TNAU. Dr. S. Arundasamy,
Okay.
Dr. M. Ram, the Professor in Department of Crop Management, Balaji.
Sir, reading for me, sir. Madam, reading for me, madam. Okay.
Devanandan, the Professor in Department of
Okay.
Physical Sciences, Horticulture College Research into Women, now the Kutapatu. Dr. M. P.
Sir,
Shriya, the Professor
reading
in
for-
Department of Water Products and Vice President.
Okay, sir.
Dr. M. R. Sami, Professor in TNAU Foundation.
Madam, reading for me, madam.
Dr. D. Hemalata, the Professor in Department
Okay,
of Science, Nutrition.
Okay, sir.
ಅವರು ಲೇಖ ಇಂದಿರೋದು ನಾನು ನೋಡಬಹುದು.
Karimagal, Professor in Department of Policy, Receiver Award, followed by Dr. R. Krishnan.
Madam, reading for me, madam.
Organic Research Center, TNAU. Dr. D. Kumar,
Okay, madam.
Professor in Department of Forest Biology.
Sir, reading for me, madam. Madam, reading for me, madam.
Dr. R. Islam, Professor in Department of Soil and Water Conservation and Training. Dr. M. Professor in Department of Environment and Sciences,
Okay, madam. Reading for me, madam.
Dr. S. Manojani, Professor in Department
Okay, madam.
of Finance.
Madam, reading for me, madam.
Department of Crop Management.
Okay, madam. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay, sir. Madam, reading for me, madam. Okay, madam. Sir, reading for me, sir. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay, sir. Madam, reading for me, madam. Okay, madam. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay. Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay, sir.
Dr. A. Raman, Professor in Department of
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Curriculum.
Okay.
Dr. Saraswati, Professor in Department
Sir, reading for me, sir. Sir, reading for okay.
Dr. P. Satapani, Professor in Department of Soil and
Sir, reading for me, sir. Okay.
Dr. R. Kumar, Professor in Department of Social Sciences, TNAU
Okay. Madam, reading for me, madam.
Dr. S. Shivakumar, Professor in Department of Business. Dr. U. Kumar, Professor in Department of
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Dr. D. Srinivasan,
Okay.
Professor R.
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Dr. E. Surendra Kumar, Professor in Department of Farm and Training. Dr. G. Suresh, Professor in Department
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Crops. Dr. T. Kumar,
Okay.
Professor in Department of Agricultural Management.
Madam, reading for me, madam.
Dr. E. Kumar,
Madam, reading for me. Okay.
Dr. E. Kumar, Professor Dr. G. Raghvan, Program Coordinator, TNAU Sana.
Sir, reading for me, sir.
Dr. T. Abdul
Okay.
Razak, Professor in Meteorology.
Okay.
Dr. M. Anand,
Reading for me, sir. Okay.
Dr. B. Anita, Professor Land and
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. M. Anupam, Professor Agricultural Economics, Dr. U. Arulanandu, Professor
சார்
Science,
ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். மேடம்
Dr.
ரெடி.
Arunachalam, Professor Agricultural
ஓகே.
Dr. C. Babu, Professor Plant Breeding and Genetics,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. W. Baby Rani, Professor Agricultural Entomology, Dr. V. Satyanani, Professor Agricultural Entomology,
மேடம் இது
Dr. C. Siveshwari, Professor of Science,
Okay.
Soils and Agricultural Chemistry, Dr. S. Vereswamy, Professor
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Entomology,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். பாருங்க சார். ஓகே.
Dr. R. Gupta, Professor of Technology, Dr. H. Gopal, Professor of Agricultural Microbiology,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Dr. C. Gopal,
Okay.
Professor of Plant Technology, Dr. Jayani, Professor of Plant Breeding and
சார்
Genetics,
ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. K. Jayaraj, Professor of Agricultural Entomology,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Dr. Journey, Professor of Technology, Dr. R. K. Malishkari, Professor
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
of Science and Agricultural
ஓகேங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Professor of Environment Sciences, Dr. R. Hanan, Professor of Land Ecology,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. S. Karthikeyan, Professor of Agricultural
Okay.
Microbiology, Dr. K. Karthikeyan,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க. சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Professor of Plant Breeding and Genetics, Department of Content,
ஓகேங்க சார்.
Dr. K. Mahendran, Professor of
Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. N. Manivannan, Plant Breeding and Genetics,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. K. Motilal, Professor of Plant Breeding and Genetics,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. E. Mundran, Professor of Plant Breeding and Genetics,
Okay.
Dr. A. Nageeshwari, Professor of Horticulture,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. C. Parvaskumar, Dr. D. K. Bhaskar, Professor of Plant Ecology,
ஓகேங்க.
Dr.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Professor Agronomy in Pharmacy, Eastern Madurai, and Dr. K. Raman,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Plant Biotechnology, TNAU.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Professor Agronomy,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க. சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க. மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க. ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க. ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Professor Agriculture,
ஓகேங்க மேடம்.
Namu, Dr. E.
ஓகேங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Dr. I. Shankar, Professor of Forestry, Dr. D. Sevram, Professor of Government,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. D.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Professor of Soil Science and Agricultural Chemistry,
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
Dr. M.R. Professor of Agricultural Technology,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Professor of Agricultural Microbiology,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க மேடம், ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
மேடம் இங்கே இங்கே
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்க. ஓகே.
Accounts Officer, Office of the Registrar TNAU Foundation.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
R. Manika Vasagam, Accounts Officer, Director of Research
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே
TNAU.
பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே
T. Meena Pillai, Accounts Officer, Department of Remote Sensing and GIS. A. Mainavati, Accounts Officer, Office of the COE. A. Saranan, Accounts Officer, Office of the Dean.
ஓகே.
B. Nagarthan, Accounts Officer, Office of the Comptroller.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
A. Pushpa, Accounts Officer, Department of Rights TNAU. B. Radha, Accounts Officer, Office of the Registrar. C. Rajlakshmi, Accounts Officer, Department of Horticulture,
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க.
Madurai.
ஓகே. சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
B.K. Root, Accounts Officer, Director of CPME, TNAU Foundation.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார்.
M. Shantakumari, Accounts Officer, Office of the Comptroller.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம்.
Accounts Officer, Department of Soil Science and Agriculture, TNAU Foundation. Accounts Officer, MSKB, Accounts Officer, Office of the Dean, Madurai. Accounts Officer, TRRI Ordinary. Accounts Officer. Farm Accounts Officer, Department of Land Biotechnology. S. Violent Accounts Officer, Office of the Dean, Madurai. B. Balarmati, Accounts Officer, Office of the Dean, P. Ahuda, Administrative Officer, Office of the Dean, ECR Isha Modi, Punjab. Ganesh Agro, Office of the Dean, CSC, NRI, Madurai.
Sir, ready to park, sir. Madam, ready to park, madam. Okay.
Murthy, Administrative Officer, Department of Entomology, TNAU Foundation. Tirumati R. Muttamal Sethi, Administrative Officer, Office of the Dean, Kumalur. Tirumati G. Suganti Rani, Administrative Officer, SRS Kadalur. Tirumati J. Ganeshan, Assistant Accounts Officer, Department of Finance.
Ready to park, madam. Okay.
K. R. Shami, Superintendent, MRS Cooperative Quality Technical. MNS Kaja Murthy, Superintendent, HNFL Forest Curriculum. A. Kalyan Aman, Superintendent, A.
Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay. Sir, ready to park, sir.
Shanti, Superintendent, Office of the Dean, now.
Sir, ready to park, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir.
It's the time for Junior Agriculture Office to make the awards.
Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Madam, ready to park, madam. Okay, madam. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay.
Agriculture Officer, Department of Oil Seeds.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
Junior Agriculture Officer, Department
Okay,
of
sir.
Mines. Marukacharam, Junior.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
CSW.
Okay, sir.
Murthy, Junior Agriculture Officer, Department of Flora.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
Horticulture.
Okay, sir.
A. Paralishwaran, Junior Agriculture
Ready to park, sir.
MRS Cooperative. A. Rajashekharan, Junior.
Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay.
C. Samraj, Junior Agriculture
Okay,
Officer.
sir. Sir, ready to park, 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 sir. Okay. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Madam, ready to park, madam. Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir. Sir, ready to park, sir.
Department of Spice and Plantation Crops.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
Vegetation, Agriculture Supervisor, Department of Food Science.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
Dr. Kumar, Laboratory Technician.
Sir, ready to park, sir.
Tanjore. Venkateswamy, lab technician.
Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க sir.
Bhavani Chandra. M. Panjalingam, lab technician. CR Alia.
Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க sir. ஓகேங்க sir.
Certificate, lab technician.
Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க sir.
Okay. Lab technician, Department of Defense.
Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க sir.
Lab technician.
ஓகேங்க sir. Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க sir. Okay. Sir, ready இங்க பாருங்க. ஓகேங்க sir. மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க. ஓகேண்ணா. சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். நான் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்கண்ணா.
We are again inviting our professors, Dr. K. Bhaskar, and
Okay.
Certificate, Junior Agriculture Officer, Navy SRU.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். ஓகே சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே
The next segment of the function begins now. Directed to open distance learning offers the BF degree program.
பாருங்க சார்.
சார் இங்கே பாருங்க, இங்கே பாருங்க.
ஓகேங்க சார்.
Gurushekhar S.
எப்படி வாங்க, எப்படி வாங்க.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Ram Rasul A.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Maheshwari M.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Mohammed Ekram.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்.
Sami K.
மேடம் இங்க பாருங்க. ஓகேங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம்.
Natarajan B.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க
Mumuri A.
சார். ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Rajendra N.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்.
Shanti M.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார்.
Sakla P.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்.
Silva S.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Shanmukhi E.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்.
மாஸ்க்
Vasan M.
ஆகி பாருங்க.
ஓகே மேடம்.
Jabbar M. K.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க மேடம்.
Ashutosh M.
ஓகே மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகே
சார்
Raj S.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார்.
சார் இங்கே சார்.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Yantra G.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார்.
Karthikeyan K. Anita P.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Parimala H.
சார் ரெடி இங்க பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Raghuram K.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Rajesh Kumar N.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார்.
Santosh Kumar.
சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம்.
Kumar S.
மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் இங்கே பாருங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் மாஸ்க் எடுத்துக்கலாங்க சார். சார் மாஸ்க் எடுத்துக்கலாம் சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகே ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகே சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க. ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க. ஓகே சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகே மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகே மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகே மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க சார். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க சார். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். இப்படி வாங்க இப்படி வாங்க. ஓகேங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். மேடம் இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ஓகேங்க மேடம். சார் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க சார். ஓகேங்க ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். மேடம் ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க மேடம். ரெடி இங்கே பாருங்க.
Mementos carry. Dr. K. Ramasamy, the former vice. Dr. K. Abdul Karim, the former vice. Dr. T. Dr. T. Murugesh Modi, the former. Dr. C. Ramasamy, the former vice chancellor. Now the board members are. Mayor Joe, Mr. Govind Raj, board member, followed by Mr. Dharmesh Kandara, board member. Mr. C.D. Kumar and Mr. K.V. Alvarez, board member.
Honorable Vice Chancellor for the dynamic leadership and exemplary thank our beloved and charismatic Vice Chancellor Madam for your wonderful and valuable mentoring of our team, which I am sure will steer the university to greater heights. Respected Dr. A. Abdul Karim sir, respected Dr. C. Ramasamy sir, respected Dr. T. Murugesh Modi sir, respected Dr. K. Ramasamy sir, and Dr. Jagannath sir, Vice Chancellor Periyar University Salem, for your august presence in this Golden Jubilee Foundation Day celebration of TNAU. Sirs, as architects of this prestigious institution, we cherish the invaluable services rendered by you all, which have paved the way for the glorious development of TNAU. On behalf of our Honorable Vice Chancellor and on my own behalf, I thank you, honored sirs. I wish to thank Mr. V. Balakrishnan, IPS, and illustrious alumnus of TNAU, now the Commissioner of Police Coimbatore, for consenting to be our guest for this function and delivering an inspiring felicitation to the TNAU family members. I wish to thank all the members of Board of Management of TNAU, Mr. C.D. Kumar, Mr. V.R. Dharmendra Mohan Prabhu, Mr. G. Ratnakumar, Mr. K.V. Alvarez, and Mr. Govind Raj sir, and our retired professors who have participated in graced the function. I also Dr. Ramasamy sir, and the family members of the staff members, the team of university officers, estate officer, public relation officer, head of department, present media persons, and staff members for their active participation and support in this Golden Jubilee Foundation Day and ODF Graduation Day celebrations. Thanks for the opportunity given. Thank you very much.
And awardees and the guests, your food is arranged in technology park here.
Madam ready இங்கே பாருங்க. Okay madam. Okay.